All right, I'm going to review the Kiss solo albums. Here we go.
Paul Stanley. Gene Simmons. Peter Criss. Ace Frehley. The Kiss albums, one by each of the 4 Kiss stars on Casablanca Records and Tapes.
The Kiss solo albums, yeah! Got all 4 of them, the original pressings. So at the height of Kiss's success in the late 70s, Ace and Peter said, we're going to quit, we want to do solo albums. Gene Simmons says, no, don't quit. Let's all do solo albums. We'll dedicate them to each other. So that's what they did. So they each went in the studio separately with their own people, their own musicians. And in September of 1978, they each released the 4 solo albums all on the same day. So we're going to just go through them real quick. My thoughts on each one. And let's start with Gene Simmons, The Demon. All right, this one, kind of a lot of different styles on here. But the rocker is Radioactive. I like that one the best. Joe Perry plays guitar on this album. Jeff Skunk Baxter plays guitar on this album. He was a great session musician in the 70s. A lot of singers on here. Donna Summer, Cher, Helen Reddy. Yeah, so he's got a lot of guests. I even heard he tried to get John Lennon and Paul McCartney on this record. They turned him down. So he got the guys from Beatlemania to sing on here. Beatlemania was like the first Beatles tribute band back in the 70s. So yeah, that's Gene's album. Pretty good. A lot of Beatlesque type songs on here too. All right, that brings us to the next one. Paul Stanley. Yeah. All right, this is basically a Kiss record. He was like, I don't need to do a solo album. I'm just going to do Kiss. Love in Chains is my favorite song on this album. It rocks. Hold Me, Touch Me, a ballad on here. A lot of love songs on here. He was dating a girl from the record company at the time. He says this album is mostly about their relationship. So, but it's a rocker. I like it. Good album. Good job, Paul. My favorite, Ace Frehley. This was actually the best-selling of the 4 Kiss solo albums. Lot of great songs. Actually, every song on this album is great. The whole album rocks. The opening track, Rip It Out. Anton Fig on drums. He was a great session player. What's on Your Mind? That's a great song. The big hit, New York Groove, is on here. Fractured Mirror, instrumental. The last song on here, a lot of layers of guitars and stuff. So yeah, this album rocks. Although my wife hates it. She laughs at the lyrics. She thinks it sucks, but whatever. What are you going to do? Speaking of sucks, that brings us to Peter Criss. This album, I just don't like it. It's not good. There's nothing good on here. And I love Peter Criss. Great drummer. He wrote Beth. I mean, Beth was, I think, Kiss's biggest song. But yeah, I don't like this album. It's like bad disco. A 60s cover song is on here, Tossin' and Turnin'. Yeah, I can't even get through this album. But yeah, I love Peter Criss. Don't like this album. So to recap, it's not the greatest collection of Kiss songs, but you know, it's fun. It's neat that they did this. They were the first band to have all 4 members do solo albums without breaking up, so that's kind of cool. Another milestone in the rock world, as Gene Simmons would say. Kiss was the first to do this. Kiss was the first to do that. So you know, that was something they did. And these did not sell well. The record label pressed 4 million and shipped 4 million of these, 1 million each. But they ended up in the bargain bins very quickly. So yeah, it was kind of a flop. They did get back in the studio, the original 4 members, to produce Dynasty after the solo albums came out. This was the last Kiss album with all 4 original members. It's an interesting album. It's got 2 disco songs, I Was Made for Loving You and Sure Know Something. They're good songs. A couple of rockers on here, Hard Times, Stones cover, 2000 Man. Anyway, that was the last Kiss album of all 4 members. Anyway, that's my review. Yeah, Kiss!